Yes, good evening, everyone. I'm audible to you. Okay, we'll start the session. Today will be the last session of our course. So yesterday we have discussed in Linux about the group administration. Yes, and also we discussed how we can apply the permission, basic file permission and ACL. After that, we discussed how we can create the partition. Now today will be the last session in which we are going to first start with how to install the application in Red Hat, which we are using through our CentOS. And then after that, we will see how to configure the DHCP server and web server using the Apache web server. Already we discussed this DHCP and IIS in Windows. So the theory will be exactly same. Here we will be focusing on how to configure the things with the command in the Linux. The concept will be same, DHCP, IIS. Okay. So for that, first we have to know how to install the application to configure the server. So we'll start with what? How to install the application in Linux. So first we will see how to install the application. So in Windows, all the applications will be there with the extension .exe in Windows. Whereas in Linux, different vendors have different extensions. Like in Ubuntu, the application will be there with the extension .deb. To install that, the tool is apt. But we are discussing this Linux through Red Hat. In Red Hat, all the applications will be there with a .rpm. So we will be discussing how to install the .rpm application today. So to install the .rpm application in Linux, we have two tools. One is RPM, the other one is yum. So first we'll start with RPM, then after that yum. So once we discuss these two things, automatically you'll understand the difference between RPM and yum. Okay. So for that, first thing you have to do is get the ISO image DVD on your desktop. So first I'll remove it, then I'll show you how to get it. So just give me a minute, I'll remove it. Then I'll show you how to get the ISO image DVD. Suppose if your desktop is like this. So first thing, before you start using RPM or yum command, you should get the ISO image DVD. So for that, go to your Linux OS. On the menu bar, you can see, no, go to your OS, right click on your OS, go to the settings, then select here CD DVD. Under the device status, check the connected and connected power on. Then go to the ISO image, browse, where you have kept your ISO image of the CentOS 7, which is equivalent to RHL 7. Select it, say OK. Now the ISO image DVD will appear on the desktop. So this is the first thing you have to do. I hope you understood. You can see the recording also. Just what I did, I went to the my OS, right click settings. I went to the CD DVD. I checked these two boxes. Then I went to my OS, selected and say OK. the ISO image will appear. So this is the first thing you have to do. Now first we will see how to install the application using RPM. RPM stands for Red Hat Package Manager. So we'll see how to install the application using RPM. So all these things are given in the practical step 5. In that everything is there. Now, first you have to access this ISO image DVD. So in Windows, everything is accessed with the drive letter. In Linux, everything is accessed with the directory. So you can check. Yesterday I shown you partition is accessed with directory. So to create a link between partition and directory, we have to use mounting. So same way to access the ISO image DVD with directory, again you have to use the mounting. So mounting is a process of accessing the partition or our removable storage devices, CD, DVD, pen drive with the help of the directory through the mounting process. So mounting is a process of accessing our partition or removable storage device with the help of the directory. For that we have to create a link. So how to create a link? So first check the name of the ISO image DVD by using the command mount. So this is the ISO image DVD name. Now access this with the directory. So for that we have to create a link between this ISO image DVD with the directory. So which directory is allocated to access the ISO image DVD with the directory? Which DVD is allocated in Linux? Sorry, which directory is allocated in Linux? Media directory. So I repeat, media directory is used in Linux to access the ISO image DVD. So to access the ISO image DVD, we need to create the link between ISO image DVD and media directory by using the mounting. So this is your temporary mounting. So this will be there as long as your system is on. So once the system reboot, everything will be there. Everything will be there. Just again you use the same command mount ISO image DVD with same media directory. Okay. Okay. So you have to mount this. If the system restart, okay. So you mount it again after the system restart. Now whatever is there in this ISO image DVD, you can see through this directory. That's why we are creating a link. So okay. So now you go inside the media. Okay. Now here you can see the whatever there in the ISMS DVD, you can able to see the media directly. You cannot see directly. So you need to just create a link by using the mounting, then you can access. So in this, there is one folder called packages in which everything is been kept. So there is one folder called packages where P is capital letter. Remember this. So in this, the vendor has kept all the application. So we need to go to that capital P, remember packages. And we can see all the applications which are in thousands. So all the application will be in this format. First application name, then its version, then its architecture. 8664 means 64-bit application. And at the end, all these applications will be there in, all the applications will be there in dot RPM. So to install this dot RPM application, we have two tools. One is RPM tool. So RPM is a method, is a tool through which we can install dot RPM application. As well as there is one more tool called yum. So when we use the yum command, it doesn't mean that the extension of the application will be .yum. There is no extension with .yum. So to install .rpm application, we have two tools, RPM and yum. So both these tools, RPM and yum, can be used to install .rpm application. So first we'll see with the RPM tool, then yum. Then you can understand the difference between RPM and yum. So now uh, before you install the application, how do you check particular application is installed or not with the RPM? RPM-Q. You can just use any name. Like here, I'm using some simple name, ZIP. So here, -Q is to check the application. Q is called here query. Here, Q is called query. Query means whether that application is installed or not. So if you are getting after checking, if you are getting like this, the application name with this version and architecture, it means this application is already installed along with the server with GUI when we use the option to install the OS server. So with that, this application is already installed. So you check another application like RPM-Q. Here, I'm checking this. You can check any application. So I'm taking just simple names. So if the application is not installed, you will get a message like this. So this is how the RPM will show if the application is not installed. And this is how it will show when the application is installed by the RPM tool. Okay. Okay. So now the ZHS is not installed. So how to install with the RPM? RPM-IVH. then the application name. So just write here the application name start so that you don't have to write complete version and architecture. Then after that, if you don't write hyphen force also no problem, but if you write, it is better because you are forcing it to install that application 100%. So sometime it may not install if you don't write hyphen force 100%. Most of the time it will install 100%, but sometimes. So it is better we use hyphen force. Now the application is installed. Okay. So now the application is installed. Now you can check the difference. Now you can check the difference. Now it is installed. Earlier it was not installed. So here, when we want to install the application, we have to use IVH, where I stands for install. V means verbose, background process. H means hash. So this hash we will get. Now, if you want to upgrade the application, if already installed application you want to upgrade, so you can do by using capital U to upgrade the application. And if you want to remove the application, you have to use here E. E stands for erase. Don't write ZHS star when you are removing the application, because if you write the star, the dependencies will get removed and which will become very, very difficult to install again with the RPM. So exactly same thing I have written in the practical step file which I have given to you. So you can search like this under the package management. So here you can see I first mounted to the DVD, went here. So I have written here, if you want to remove the application, don't give the star. If you give it, the application will remove along with the application. Dependencies means supporting application will get removed, which will be very difficult to install. Okay. So please remember, never give the star while removing the application. So now, up to now, you may think, oh, RPM is such a nice command. It is working nicely. Now you check, it is removed now. So now you may think RPM is such a nice command. It is working nicely. Then why there is a need for the yum command? Okay. So now we will see what is the drawback with the now we'll see what is the drawback with the RPM command, so that the Red Hat company has to design or develop one more tool, that is yum. So the problem with the RPM command is when you try to install the application, if this application doesn't require any dependency means supporting application, then it will install the application. If any application you are trying to install required any dependency, then it will not install that application. It will show the name of the dependencies, which you have to install manually. All after that only the application can get installed. So which will take a lot of time. Now I'll show you that problem. So there is one application called Samba, through which we can configure the Samba server, which can, uh, which will the Samba application. So Samba server is a server through which we can do the sharing of files and directory from Windows to Linux, Linux to Windows. So for Samba server, we need this application Samba. So it is not installed. So let us try to install with the RPM command. So we use this same command to install the ZHS, same command I am using. So you see whether it can able to install. No, it will not able to install. Why? For ZHS, there was no dependency required. Dependency means supporting application was not required. So it has installed. But when you are trying to install the Samba application, so these are the dependency. So unless until you don't install this dependency, you cannot install the Samba application with RPM. So first we have to install all these dependency. After that, we have to install the Samba application. So sometimes when you try to install one dependency, it will show another dependency. So it should take a lot of time. So to overcome this problem, the Red Hat company designed one more tool that is called YUM. YUM full form, Yellow Dock Updater Modified. So what is the advantage of YUM? So yeah, YUM command is used to install the same .rpm application. But what is the advantage with the YUM command? When we use the YUM command, it will not only check the dependency, but it will install the dependency automatically using the repository. Repository means database along with the application. So what is the main advantage with YUM? It will not only check the dependencies, but it will install the dependencies along with the application or required application automatically along with the dependency. So which command is easier to use? Yum. So that's why mostly we use as yum command, because yum command will not only check the dependencies, but it will install the dependencies, required dependencies along with the application by using the repository. That is the advantage with the yum. So that's why mostly we use as yum. Okay. Now we will see this type of problem, how we can overcome with the help of the yum command. So yum install the dependencies along with the application. For that, it uses repository. For that repository, we have to configure the yum server, or we should have on our machine the internet. So using the CentOS server, it will install the dependencies. So without internet, as the administrator, we have to configure the yum server. So I'll show you how to configure the yum server, so that without internet, using this yum server, our yum command will install the application. It will install the dependencies of the required dependencies of the application which we are trying to install. So which makes installing the application quite easy with the yum. Okay. So now if you want to use the yum command, you have to create the yum server. So how to create the yum server, I'll show you. So you can go to this location, cd/etc/yum. Use the tab yum.repos.d. So this is the location you have to go to configure yum server. So to configure the yum server, this is the location we have to go. And here there are 4 files. We have to modify this file to make yum server. First file we have to modify. So vi/CentOS, C capital, remember, CentOS, B capital, base, repo, base.repo. So this is the file we have to modify to install the application using yum with the help of yum server. Now we are configuring yum server. Okay, so let us see now what we have to modify. Open this file. So this file is a program file. So it is a programming file. So in the programming file, if any line starts with hash, it means that line is called commented. That line will not be executing. So keep the first paragraph as it is. So using the down arrow key, come to the second paragraph, third line. So I repeat, using the down arrow key, come to the second paragraph, third line. So we don't need this line. So keep the cursor on the second paragraph, third line. Then on the keyboard, press DD. So the third line will be deleted. We have discussed in VEditor DD to delete the line. So third line has been deleted. Now the fourth line has become the third line. The third line has been deleted. Now the fourth line has become the third line. So that line is starting with the hash, means that line is called commented, means that line will not be executed. So to make that line executable, keep the cursor on hash, press the delete key. So now that line has become uncommented. If the line starts with hash, means that line is called commented, means that line will not be executing. So to make that line executable, uncommented, so remove the hash. Now that line become enabled. So here the path is given of internet, but I want to install the application without internet. So keep the cursor on HTTP and start pressing delete key. So keep the cursor on after base URL is equal to. Keep the cursor on HTTP and press slowly the delete key and delete the complete line after base URL is equal to. From HTTP onwards, you press the delete key and delete the complete line after base URL is equal to. Like I am doing. Slowly you delete. Then after once it is deleted, you press I. Press I to go to insert mode. Then after is equal to, keep the cursor right side of the is equal to by using side key. Then write file colon // media. So we are accessing this ISO image DVD with which directory media. So this is the line you have to write. Over yum server is configured. The remaining lines of the second paragraph as it is by default will be there. Just we have to modify. The third line we have to delete, fourth line we have to enable hash and delete from HTTP onwards. Base URL is equal to we have to keep. In place of HTTP onwards, delete that line. In place of that, write file colon // media. So 3 slashes. Remaining line keep as it is. Now keep the cursor on the third paragraph, first line. Then press escape key to go to command mode. So keep your cursor on third paragraph, first line, press escape key. Now press 2525 DD. All the paragraph will be deleted because we need only this second paragraph. And in this, all the lines we have to keep as it is. Only this base URL line we have to modify. Over. Yum server is over. It is one-time configuration. Every day you don't have to modify. Now using the yum command, now we can install the application, which will not only check the dependencies, but it will install the dependencies automatically using this repository. So it will go to where media is mounted to ISO image DVD. All the required application dependency it will check here and install automatically. So this is the difference between RPM and yum. RPM will just check the dependencies. Dependency means supporting application. It will show the name which we have to install, which will take more time. So yum will not only show that, it will install those dependencies automatically along with the application using these repositories. Over. So which command is easier to use? Yum. So now come out. How to come out? Shift colon extended mode. W to save, Q for quit. Save and exit. Over. Yum server is configured. Now come to the normal location. Now, how do you check application is installed or not with RPM? With RPM, we'll check like this. Whereas with the yum, we have to check like this. All these things are given in the notes practical file. See here, how to check application is installed or not. Yum list application. So here the logic is there. That logic I have written. We have to see the last line, last word. If the last line, last word shows only base, no at the rate, it means that application is not installed. If it is showing at the rate, means this application is installed. Okay. Now you can see same thing here. Yum list application name. So you see the last line, last word. So is there any at the rate is there? No. So it means this application is not installed. So install it. How to install with the RPM? This was the command. But it was not installing because it required dependencies. So now try with the yum. Yum install application name. Here also put star after the application name so that you don't have to write this version all this, and it will not only check. So it will not only check the dependencies, but it will install the required dependency automatically. So once you press enter, it will go to that file which you have modified. And in that, what path we have given? Media. Media is mounted to ISMS DVD. From there, it will install here. It is not only checking the dependencies. It has checked all the dependencies. Now it is installing the dependencies automatically. So for one application, 8 dependencies it has installed. If you are using the RPM, you have to do it. Installed all the dependency along with application. No, no, no. Here you cannot do by double click. You have to use the command. Irfan, you have to use the command. Okay. So now you check the application is installed. So can you see now at the rate? Yes. Now if you want to check with RPM also, you check. Now if you want to upgrade the application with yum, you can use yum update or upgrade. Both are same. Application name. Since in our database, whatever application was there, same we have installed. So upgrade application is not available. So that's why it is not upgrading. If it is available, it will install with same command. Now the last command, when you know how to install, we should also know how to remove it. When we don't need, or once the usage of this application is completed, we should know how to remove it. So yum remove application name. Don't give the star -y. If you don't give -y, what happens? You see here. Here -y means yes. So if you don't give -y, it will stop in the middle. So in the middle, you have to give y. So either you give -y initially or in the middle y. Y means yes. Now it has removed the application. You can check. Now at the rate will not come. So yum is easier to install the application. .rpm application. So what is the difference between RPM and yum? What is the difference between RPM and yum? RPM will just check the dependency, whereas yum will not only check the dependency, but it will install the dependencies along with the required application. This is the difference. But for that, we have to configure yum server. How to do that? I have shown you. Okay. So with this, we have completed what? Package management, how to install the application. So now with this knowledge, now we will be in a position to configure the servers. So I'll be showing you 2 servers. Already theory part we have discussed, like in Windows, to configure the DHCP is what? Dynamic host configuration. What the DHCP will do? It will assign the IP address dynamically using the DORA process, port number 67 by DHCP server, 68 by DHCP client. So in Linux also the process remains same, port number same. Only how you will configure here through the command, their graphical. The purpose is same. So when you configure the DHCP server in Linux machine, it will also do same thing. It will assign the IP address to all the client, whether that client is using Linux OS or Windows OS. So it will assign the IP address using same DORA process. Discover, offer, request, acknowledgement. Port number also same. So in Linux, if you want to check any service port number, this is the location you have to go. You can open with VIR cat services. All the port numbers you can see. So I given you in Windows the location. C drive, yes. Windows, system 32. So see here, port numbers. 67 by DSCP client 68. 67 by DSCP server. To come out, shift to colon Q. Okay, so should we discuss that? Shall we discuss that after the break? Apache web server. With that, the course will be finished today. So shall we have a break? Yes, can we have a break? Okay, we'll have a break now. Shall we continue? Now we'll see how to configure the DHCP server. Now we'll see how to configure the DHCP server. So, like you have seen in the like you have seen in the Windows, when you are doing the practical, you need yes, I'm audible to you. Yes, I'm audible. So now, as you have seen in the Windows, when we are starting the practicals related with the servers, we need two machines. So here also we need two machines. So what we have done in Windows, we created one more virtual machine and install the OS, which will take minimum 15 to 20 minutes. But while doing the Linux, since the Linux is a little bit small OS, so we have seen that we can use the clone concept. For the Windows, we have seen it is not taking exact same thing, but in Linux it is taking. So what you have to do, instead of creating new virtual machine, you can just power off the machine. It should be power off. Then just click on the machine and you can create within 2 seconds one new machine. How to create? You see here. First power off your machine like I have done. Then just click on the machine, right click, manage. Can you see here the clone? So once your work is completed, if you want to delete from here. Don't remove from here. Just name will be removed. So if you want to delete the virtual machine, go to your virtual machine, power off, manage, delete from here. And if you want to create a clone means whatever configuration you have given, whatever size, whatever you have created here, with exact same thing, one new machine will be created within 2 seconds by this option. For that, the machine should be power off. Then select the machine, right click, manage, click on clone. Just to read and say nothing you have to do, just read, say next, next, finish. One new machine is created. That is called clone. So this clone machine you can use like a client, and this machine you can configure as a server. So within 2 seconds, we have created one machine. We have checked in the Windows. You may ask why I did not show same thing. In Windows, since the OS is big, some files it is not taking, but here in Linux it is taking exact same thing. So that's why I've shown you here. Okay. Now we have two machines here. In one machine, we'll configure DHCP server. In other machine, we'll check the output. So you power on the machine. Both the machines you power on. Now in one machine, you configure the DHCP server. From other machine, you check the output. So how to configure the DHCP server? That also I given you in the file. Everything is there in that. Apart from that, I have given many more servers which we are discussing in 15 days course. Now here, when you configure any server, first thing what you have to do, you should have the IP address. So we discuss in Windows two types of IP, static and dynamic. Dynamic means we have to configure DHCP server. Static means we have to give the manually the IP address. So in Linux, how you will check IP address is there or not? We have to use the command ifconfig. So here first line, first word will show your LAN card name. And here, this is your MAC address. So here IP is not there. So how to assign the static IP? ifconfig. Then here ENO 16777736. Then the IP address 192. I'm using a class C IP 192.168.1.9. No need of subnet mask. It will take it. So this IP is a static IP, but temporary. So this IP will be temporary. So as long as your system is on, this will work. Once the system reboot, again, you can just go to this same command if config, then check the LAN card name, write the exact first line, first word will show your LAN card name, then give the IP address, enter. Then you can see the IP address. Okay. This is how you can give the static IP, which will be temporary, remember. Now, for DHCP server, like in Windows, which application we have installed, we went to the server manager console, click on add roles and features, next, install DHCP. Here we have to do through the command. So which command is easier to use? Yum. So to configure the Yum server, sorry, to install, to configure the DHCP server, we have to install which application? DHCP. Same like Windows. Yum install DHCP. Now it will not install because I told you the link which we have created with the ISO image DVD will be broken. So what you have to do, once the system reboot, the link will be broken. So just write once again this dev/sr0/ same directory media. Now you use, it will install. The IP will be lost, this link will be lost when the system is reboot. So now application is installed. Now when the application get installed, it will create one file. That file is called configuration file. So the configuration file you can check like this with the RPM command, RPM-QC, the application name, DHCP. So this is the file we have to modify. Like we have discussed in Windows, we have to create a scope. We have to create what? A scope in Windows. Here it is called IP range. So now to create the scope or IP range, we have to go to this file with VI editor, VI space /etc, use the tab DHCP, dhcpd.conf. So go to this file to give the range. From that range only, it will assign the IP address. So now here to give the range, nothing is there. Literally this file is empty. So literally this file is empty. So you have to go to the second line and just note down this location. So this is the location it is showing, USR shared doc DHCP. There example file is there. So we have to copy the example file into this configuration file. So first we have to go to this location. There we can find a example file that we have to copy into the configuration file so that we can create the range. From that range, it will assign the IP address. Same like Windows. There it is called scope. Here it is range. So first come out from this file after seeing the location. Shift:Q. Now how to go to the location? CD/USR share. Use the tab dot DHCP. Version is 4. Tab 4.2.5. Now if you go there and check ls, two files are there. So we have to copy the second file. First file is for IP version 6. So now copy this cp space -rv. How to copy? Cp command -rv. So second file you copy. Second file you copy to the configuration file. What is the configuration file? etc dhcp. This is our configuration file. So the content of example file will be copied into this. dhcp d.conf. Enter. So it is asking, do you want to enter overwrite? Yes. Now open the configuration by using the up arrow key, previous command. Now earlier there was literally empty, but now all the content of the example file is copied into configuration file. Now we can create a scope. So shift:, first set the line number, shift:/sc space nu. So it will be easier for you to configure the server. shift:/scnu, enter. Now press I to go to insert mode. Now go to the line number 40, 41, 42. Everything is written in the configuration file which I have given to you. Now here line number 40. Line number 40. Here, which example they have taken? 10 dot. I am working on 192. So if you want, you can open one more terminal and keep it here. Your IP is one, you can check here. Now go to the line number 40. We are in insert mode. Press I to go to insert mode. In insert mode only we can modify. Yes. Now using the delete key, delete this 10 dot network. And we have to give our network. Our network is 192. That is class C. So don't delete any word. Just delete the numbers. Then in place of that, you write 192, 168, 1.0 network ID. Network ID we have to give. This is your host. In class C, 3 networks will be there. Network ID means only network. 3 network. Host should be 0. So 192, 192, 168, 1. Up to this you have to write network ID. Last number 0. Now what will be the subnet mask? Net mask means subnet mask. So 255, 255, 255 3 times. Dot 0. So delete this 224 slowly using delete key, right? 0. Don't delete any flower bracket. Otherwise your service will be failed. It is program file. Carefully we have to do. Now 41 is the range. In Windows we are calling terminology scope. Here it is range. So here what is the range they have given? 40 to 60. So my case is suppose 192 network. So slowly delete this 10 dot network range by using delete key. Now give your range. Suppose I have 100 machines. So I'll give my range 1 to 100. So my range will be 192, 168, 1.1 space 192, 168, 1.100. So this is my range 1 to 100. All the networks will be same. Now broadcast IP class C, line number 42. Broadcast IP, last IP is broadcast IP. Network ID first number is 0. Remember, we discussed that in Windows in IP addressing. Now the line number 42 you delete. Don't delete semicolons. It should be there as it is. So 192, 192, 168, 1 dot. Here you see broadcast IP 255. Over these 3 lines you have to give. Line number 40 network ID. Line number 41 range. Line number 140. Line number 42 broadcast. Over. Escape. Shift colon WQ. Save and exit. Over. Server is configured. Now restart the service. So once you configure the service, you have to restart. Then only the IPs can be assigned. DSCPD restart. Then make your IP table rules. There is one rules IP table that you have to make off. IP table rules off. Then security enhance. SC Linux disable, set N for 0. These 2 securities you have to off. Then the client will get the IP address. The client will get the IP address. So what you have to do for this, same like Windows. So before it get the IP, you go to your main machine, right click settings, because your LAN card will be connected to NAT. You connect it to the switch to work in the network like you have done in Windows. Settings, network adapter. It is connected to NAT. Connect to custom. That is VMNet 0. I used in Windows 1. Here I am taking 0. Any number you can take. Now same way, you go to the clone machine. Here also right click settings. Same number. You have to connect LAN card to VMNet 0. Then only it will communicate. Now check, are you getting the IP or not in the clone machine? Same username, same password. Clone machine means exact same copy will be created. Now, before creating clone, whatever you have done, it will be there. Now, after that, these are 2 different machines. Now check, it is getting the IP or not. Now, in Windows, we use what command? Which command we have used? ipconfig/release, ipconfig/renew to get the IP. In Linux, we have to do like this: dhclient-refresh, dhclient-v verbose to see whether we are getting the IP or not. So it has taken the IP. So what is my first IP? 1 to 100. So it has taken first IP. So from my DHCP server, it is assigned. So you can see the DORA process also, which we can't see in Windows, but here it shows. So it means our DHCP is configured properly. Okay. So our DHCP server is over. Now the last server I'll show you, that is Apache web server. So theory already we discussed in Windows, so we are not going to discuss the theory. Web server is used to host the website to publish our information to the public, so that as the more number of people knows about our product, our business will improve. So in Windows, we discuss IIS, so which can be used to host the website for Windows operating system only. So on that day, I told you in Linux, if our server is Linux, can we use IIS? No. So we have to use what? Apache. So the most commonly used web server in the world is Apache because it is platform independent. Because we can use this Apache on any OS, whether it is Windows, Linux. So I'll show you now how to configure the Apache web server through which we can host the website. Okay. Now this is the last topic. This is the last topic. So I'll go to this. Now already our machine is having IP. So check IP is there. Yes. Already our DVD is mounted to the media directory. Now install the application. So to configure the Apache web server, we have to use this application HTTPD. HTTP is a protocol, but HTTPD is the application name which can be used to configure the Apache web server. So here also we can host the website using two protocols, HTTP and HTTPS. HTTP without security means the data will be going in encrypted form. HTTPS, the data will be encrypted because of the certificate. We have discussed that in Windows. Here also exactly same thing. So we don't have the certificate. So we will host the website through HTTP protocol using which application? HTTPD. That is the application to configure the Apache web server. So it will install the application along with the dependencies. So configuration file will be created. So we need to host that. Okay. Now, which website we want to host? We have to give the host name. Like website will be having fully qualified domain name. So first, before I go to the configuration file, which website I want to host, I need to give the name. So this is the name. So this is your system name. www is a system name. Zoom.com is a domain name. So here, if you want this system name, www means just you have to open the new terminal, or you can update by bash. Now www will come. So here you can say bash, but this is temporary. If you want same name to continue even after rebooting means the host name. So we have to go to this file, bi space /etc/host name. Then press I to go to insert mode. Delete everything by using delete key. What is the host name you have given? Write that. So that name will become permanent, www.zoom.com. escape, shift colon W. If you don't make permanent also, no problem. Now go to the configuration file. How to check the configuration file? That will be created after you install the application. So which application we have installed? HTTPD. So this is our configuration file, which we have to modify to host the website. Now how to modify? vi slash etc httpd conf slash httpd conf. This is the file we have to modify. So it has so many lines, so we don't have to do anything in between the line. So go to the last line using Shift G. Last line, Shift G. Come to the last letter using site key. Press I to go to insert mode. Go to empty space, enter. Now you can start writing 6 lines to host the website using HTML language. This is called opening tag. So you have to write virtual host to host the website. Who should access? Everybody. Star colon. I'm hosting through HTTP protocol. So port number will be 80. If it is HTTPS, 443. Same like Windows. Closing tag. Then next line, server admin. Our server name. Server name means our website name. What is the host name we gave? www.zoom.com. Host name. Web server name. Then server admin. Server admin means who is our admin? Root. Server means our host name. What is the host name? Website name. www.zoom.com. Next, document root. In Windows, we do everything graphically. Here, through command, document root. So default directory. When we install the HTTPD application, this will get created. This directory where we have to create keep our web pages. Our domain name. Web page should be created with domain name, and the page is created through which language? HTML. So in Windows, I took the home pages of some site, Yahoo, uh, Yahoo, Mail, BMW. Here we will create to the HTML language, which is very easy. If you don't know the HTML language, I'll give one small script just to check the output. In the real time, this page will be designed by developer. Here we will create just a normal text page to check the output. And then closing tab. So closing tag in HTML is done by using slash. Which one we have started with, same way you have to close. So these are the 6 lines you have to write to host the website. Over. Escape. Shift colon to save it. Extended mode. Shift colon. W for save. Q for quit. Now create the web page. Go to this directory where www.html. In real time, it will be designed by the developer. We need to just copy the pages here in this default location. Here I'll create the page. So vi slash etc, sorry, domain name, vi slash zoom dot html. All these things are given in the practical step 5. Press I to go to insert mode. Then if you know the HTML language, you create your own page. If you don't know, just for practical purpose, as it is, you write. First will be head, then the body. Then the body will have some background color. Spelling of the color should be American, not British. Any color of your choice. Close the tag. Then I want my heading to be floating. For that, mark you. Then heading. Then some message. Anything you can put. then close the tab in reverse order. So the page is created. Come out. How to come out? Escape, shift colon, W for save, Q for quit. Now restart the service. Service HTTPD restart. Then spelling wrong. Then make your IP table rules of capital F, IP table space capital F. Set and for 0. Now go to the client clone machine. Now check whether it is communicating with the server. So my web server is configured on 9, 192.168.1.9. It should be communicating, yes. So in Windows, after 4 packet, it will stop. Here we have to stop. Control C to stop. Now open the browser and check, are you getting the page or not? So default browser in CentOS and Red Hat is Firefox. So here, I'll first show you with IP, 192, my server IP. Web server is configured on 1.192.168.1.9. I'm getting the page, but we should access with name. So how to access with name? For the DNS is there, but did you configure the DNS? No. So in Windows, I shown you through the DNS. There is one more concept called host file. So if there is no DNS, you can access the server by name by host file. So in Linux, I'll show you through the host file. So in the host file, in client machine, you have to go to one file. In server, you don't have to do anything. So there is no DNS, but by using the host file, we can access. For that, in client machine, go to the vi space /etc/host. You have to open this file, vi space /etc/host. Spelling you see, HOTS, S, host. So default 2 lines will be there. Using the down arrow key, come to the last line, last letter, press I to go to insert mode, come to empty space, enter. Here you have to write your web server IP address, and website name. Direct mapping is done. No need to create any zones, any record, nothing. So this is called host file. Escape, shift colon WQ. Now you can access now by name. See, now you are accessing this with name because of the host file without DNS. So if DNS is there, no need of host file. If host file is there, no need of DNS. Okay. So with this, we have completed our course. Okay. So that's it for today. Thank you, everybody. So if anybody is interested in doing the certification for CCNA or MCSE or even Azure, you can contact me. For MCSE, there are about like 4 papers. Now it is called MD 100, 101 and MS 100, 101. So Zoom is providing total support. Just you have to appear the exam, but only when you appear physically in Hyderabad, our people will provide the support. So just you have to go to the center. Our persons will provide you the support. They will write the exam. So for MCSE 1 paper, it is a minimum 2 paper you have to write to get the equivalent to MCSCA associate 2 paper. 4 paper means MCSE. So if anybody is interested, you can contact me on my WhatsApp number. But you have to be in Hyderabad to write the exam. Either CCNA or for CCNA, 1 paper is there. So for that, with support 33,000. And for Azure also, we are providing support. So if anybody is interested, you can contact me on my WhatsApp. As for the course completion certificate, you just contact the Lakshmi madam. So once today the course is completed, maybe by Monday or Tuesday, she will send you.
Sir, I have left with many practicals to do in MCSE. So if I have any query, what is the right
Yes.
to contact you? Sir?
See, you can just send me the screenshot on my WhatsApp. So as soon as I'm free, I'll get to you.
Sure, sir.
Okay. Don't think that once the course is finished, our relationship is finished. No.
Yeah, that's great, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, all of you. It's pleasure taking your session.
Yes, sir.
So before I wind up the session, thank you, all of you, and God bless you all with good career and good health.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
So do you have any questions, or can I close the session? Okay. Thank you, all of you. I'm closing the session.